Hey everybody, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed your Monday. It was a great start to the week. I got a lot accomplished here at work today and I'm headed into the evening to relax. So the last thing to do is get dinner ready. I have a great recipe for you this afternoon. What we're going to be making is spinach and feta stuffed chicken breast. Sounds fancy, it is, but it's super easy to recreate at home. So what you'll need for this recipe is approximately 8 ounces of frozen spinach and cooked to instructions on the box. Now, I didn't use frozen spinach. I actually had some fresh spinach here at home. And so what I did, I took about 2 to 3 cups of fresh spinach and steamed it so it cooked down to about 8 ounces, which is approximately a cup in measurement. It didn't take long at all. You can pop it in the microwave and do it fast, or you can throw it in a steamer. And then all I did was take a pair of kitchen scissors, cleaned and ready to go. I'm not going to recreate this part right now because I used them to cut open the chicken, but all I did was take my scissors and chop up my spinach, and I made my very own chopped spinach, just like the frozen kind, but it's made from fresh, so even better. You'll need approximately 3 chicken breasts for this recipe, and then you'll need 4 ounces of feta cheese. It's a cheese you can find in the cheese section of your local grocery. Everyone carries it. You'll need a little bit of garlic, 4 ounces or half a brick or bar of cream cheese. Or if you need alternatives like I'm using today, you can use a Greek yogurt in place of your cream cheese. So easy recipe, let's get started. We're just gonna mix some of our ingredients together. We are gonna take that 4 ounces of cream cheese, which is half a cup. I'm just gonna set my measuring cup down in the bowl to keep things clean. And I'm gonna fill that up. Either take your cream cheese at room temperature. It's gonna be much easier to mix and work with, or you can even soften it a little bit in the microwave. It won't hurt it. That's if you're using cream cheese. You can substitute sour cream for this as well, or like I said, the Greek yogurt like we are using today. The recipe shows you the cream cheese version of this. All right, so we have that ready. And then we are going to add our 4 ounces of feta. This is a 5-ounce container, but I'm just going to put the whole thing in. It's just easier that way. It's not that much more. We're going to add 1 clove of garlic, which is a half a teaspoon of minced. But we like garlic here, so I'm going to add a full teaspoon of minced garlic. And then you're going to add in, first let's mix that together. And then we're going to add in our spinach after that. We're going to add a speck of salt and pepper. They want you to put about a quarter of a teaspoon. Is not very much salt. Remember, your cheeses are really have a higher salt content. That's kind of the process of making cheese. So you don't need much, and you're going to reserve a little bit of the salt for on top of your chicken as well before we bake it. So what we're going to do, let me just get a stirring device out here. Just get a kitchen spoon out and just incorporate those cheeses, whether you're using the cream cheese and feta or the sour cream and feta or the Greek yogurt and feta, whichever version you're making. We're going to mix that in and get the ingredients incorporated together. Again, in any size bowl will do. Excuse me. And then once you've mixed that together, we're going to add in our chopped spinach. We're just going to try and scatter it around and mix in a little bit at a time because it's going to clump together. It'll just take the extra time to mix it in a little bit at a time, and it'll help spread it out through the mixture. So then you can go ahead and add the rest of that chopped spinach in. This is a great recipe. It has some great fresh ingredients in it, and it's going to bake up very nice, and it's a nice twist on just plain old chicken. People say they get sick eating chicken all the time. There are so many chicken recipes out there that you can switch it up and do a variety of different fun flavors. So, all right. So for this, you want to have a decent sized chicken breast. I know lots of times we butterfly them and cut them in half to make them thinner so they cook better and more evenly. But for this, you really want your nice plump and juicy chicken breast. And what we're going to do we're not going to butterfly it, but to stuff it, we are actually going to cut what they're calling a pocket into the chicken breast. Now, you just need a sharp knife because we're going to be cutting the chicken right along the thickest part of that chicken breast, which is towards the top, okay? And we're going to want to poke our knife in, or you can start with a serrated knife and saw at it, but we want to go into the chicken, but we don't want to cut all the way through. So you want to go, I'll just show you on top of the chicken, you want to cut about to back here and about down to here, okay? Because we want to make a nice pocket to stuff our chicken breast. Now, if you want to, you could hold your chicken breast, but they do not recommend that just because you're cutting towards your hand. So they recommend getting a spatula and holding it down, which works just as well as your hand, I must say. And we're just gonna cut right along the chicken breast. Again, you want to be careful that you want to cut far enough back, but we don't want to cut all the way through because we don't want our filling to be melting out the backside when we're baking. So let me just make sure I cut through all that chicken. And there we have it. Again, you're gonna have to use your hands for this, so obviously make sure you wash them first and wash them well after, because we're working with raw chicken here. All right, so we have our pocket formed, and then all we're gonna do is take some of that mixture. Remember, this makes 3 chicken breasts, so we're gonna take about 1/3 of it, and we are going to stuff, oh, I got spinach in mine. We are going to stuff that chicken breast. I'm just gonna take a spoon, and we're just gonna put it right in there, making sure you tuck it down in. We really wanna fill these up and give them a nice portion, 1/3 of that feta and spinach filling that we want. All right, so we're gonna put that right in there. And that's all there is to it. They're gonna look delicious when they bake up in the oven. Again, you make 3. Now these are going to go in the oven at 450 degrees. They want you to cook it high and fast. So they want you to put this in for about 10 minutes at 450 degrees. Check and make sure the juices are running clear, and then if not, put it back in for 2 to 3 minutes. This is a preference, I will probably cook mine at a little bit lower temperature for a longer amount of time. Sometimes, especially being stuffed, it can be hard to judge, especially if you do not have a meat thermometer at home, if your chicken is cooked all the way through. So if you're comfortable and know your regular kitchen setting, oven setting and amount of time for baking a chicken breast, go with those guidelines. They'll still work while it's stuffed. You might have to add a few minutes because we're using a thicker chicken breast for this recipe. So just double check it, and ideally it'd be great if you had your meat thermometer. So that's all there is to it though. Simple, but it'll look like a professional chef made dinner tonight. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. I will attach it in the comments below, and I'll be back tomorrow morning. Enjoy your evening, folks.